Okay, so another week has come and gone on for this Pokemon Monday. Hey, by the time you've seen this, another preview of the upcoming adaptation Sword and Shield series will have aired alongside hey, the most recent episode of Sun and Moon series in Japan. So I even though it didn't offer that much other information, apart from the fact that it's apparently going to be featuring all the regions of Pokemon that we've seen in addition to the ones in Galar, I thought I would share my thoughts and address six major points about things that you could do with it in the story of this series if the proposed anthology format ends up coming to pass. So let's get this started. This is an idea here that's been and on TV tropes I've been meaning to talk about for a bit. Basically, it suggests that as a way to bring back like an older story or concept and rework it so it fits better the context for modern viewers because as as things often do, they change over time. So there's often a chance that people may not find the what you're going for as revolutionary or even acceptable as it was as in the past. I mean, it's that simple. Often, and I found how this is an interesting idea to try and take what works about how the previous incarnation, leave the rest, and figure out how to make it work in this day and age. I mean, again, I like to think about how they reimagined the Vulture and Mysterio as rather than the more so supervillains they were in previous incarnations and more of people who were driven into this path because they got screwed over the line of work, which actually is more understandable and definitely could work in the context of a modern incarnation and if they are going to be featuring Pokemon and on and regions that we've seen before, I very much like it if they could do things with them that haven't been seen before, or which brings back my next talking point. This is another kind of way you could approach it. So, while when the news first broke, given how the show is simply going to be called Pokemon like it was when it first began airing in Japan in 1977, and many wondered if there's going to be a, a new continuity or a total reboot of the series. I think I have to suggest it's kind of a bit of both meaning where it's alter continuity, but it's maybe in the same fictional universe, which kind of like some of the recent movies they've done. And they imply that the events of the previous 2 decades and 1,000 episodes of stories still happen, just maybe not in the way we expected. I mean, that's which I think is also a useful way of approaching this, given how, again, how we have Phoenix's Joker, which just came out, and how that's distinctly different from other ones like Nicholson or Ledger or even Leto's Joker, but that's definitely beside the point for now. And I think this actually could work if this idea they're posing is indeed what they're only going to go with. Where since, I mean, as I pointed out before, and I'll probably point out again, by the very nature of what the Pokemon and the human companions are, you can actually do this with a cast and still keep the continuity intact. It's actually, to me, logistically, he easier and creatively than the Dragon Ball series was when it began. I can see how long that's been going on. Given I just watched finale of Super again last night on Toonami, so and there's definitely at least four more points I can address in this video. So here we go. And this is definitely one they have done before, even as recently as this year, with how with the Detective Pikachu movie and the Mutual Strategy Evolution, how a lot of those seem very close in style and tone to the earlier parts of this series, and they have also done some of this before, such as how you have Unova trying to recreate some of the character dynamics they had, as well as stuff now like with the Sun and Moon series actually capturing the same kind of blend of humor, action, and actually surprising dramatic weight that the original series had. It's not afraid to be serious when it has to, and if they kept this mindset with approaching previous regions like Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, and Kalos, or even heck, still Alola just now, there's gonna be a lot of opportunities they can do. Like how I have no objections to revisiting in stories from the past and putting a new spin on them because, like, as you can tell, how other series have done this quite effectively. Like how with One Piece, he has managed to reimagine stories from their earlier catalog, even as they're going through newer territories like Wano, so and how even with the Skywalker saga coming to a close with Star Wars, they're still introducing new ideas, a sequel trilogy, while also building on what the original trilogy built, and even a prequel trilogy has brought to the table, like how you have ones like Rogue One, which are kind of more like a war movie space opera, Solo and The Mandalorian kind of like space westerns, and I'm also kind of interested to see what they'll do with, say, Kenobi series, how other incarnations like Clone Wars, both versions, Rebels and Resistance, are pushing their characters, focusing on camaraderie of the heroes. So, still plenty to talk about there, but it's a good example of how you can do this kind of stuff. Yeah. This also builds upon the last point Hayne I was addressing. Hayne since and on top of this being an opportunity for the series to rework some parts that didn't stand out as much when I was younger, and to be fair, I didn't care for every single story they've done over the years, but there's also an opportunity to offer something new on ones myself and others did enjoy, since obviously if something was important, they will definitely include it, and how now I can definitely see how again, and like like other analogies I've come up with in such scenario, how a lot of people tend to imagine things in their minds or just playing the games in their hand. I like how things like Origins and Generations operate the mentality of someone with a game console in their hand, basically having nothing else to go on besides thinking that hey, this might make a cool show, and it did. I mean, since I definitely like that idea of mentality, given how I pointed out that Batman is definitely an analogy that's fared well, given how he's been everything from little boy to an old man to Psycho and yes, even a Lego minifigure over the years. And James Bond has also managed to endure how has managed to, ever since Ian Fleming first published those books, been involved in a situation of being pretty interrogated pretty graphically for information by the villain, to trying to defuse a bomb while dressed as a clown. Miss you, Roger Moore. But anyway, everyone has their favorite stories no matter what saga they come from, and the opportunity to take another look at them and him in this way is intriguing to me. So I'll definitely keep on going as I address my final 2 points in this video. Yeah. As you can tell by this chart that's been floating around the web fairly recently, as well as the recently revealed images, they've already got this part down, and once again, actually don't mind the style. Actually, I rather like it. I think Ash, as well as the new character of Go, actually look kind of cute in this style. But that's still beside the point. I think as I've learned from Kanipa Effect, there's actually a lot more work then you might realize that's put into even a series like this. I mean, they couldn't just have thrown the whole thing together in 6 second episodes of South Park. This had to once again be considered in advance how they'd want to approach this, and I actually don't mind the outfit either, given how it's like they combined the look from two of the most recent movies as using elements from the other parts of the series, and how there's distinct ain't like the other versions, how it has as I think I noticed that every outfit I've seen so far at least incorporates elements of the original four versions of the game with three primary colors of red, yellow, and blue, which as well as the Japanese exclusive green before it was remade as leaf green. And again, that's also a simple but effective way of drawing the eye try as if you wanted to make this into a toy or put it into the video game. There's typically the three colors that stand out the most in a shop. I mean, typically, and even with someone like Superman, um, whose costume hasn't changed that much over the years, even when that brief time he was wearing the red shorts, he still had all three of these colors on his suit. Even if some versions use darker hues of crimson and cobalt, so I wouldn't fear with the CG effects. I mean, against flight and fight scenes, and so. But I also I've seen some leaks of him in the league outfits, for the gyms and Galler, and no matter how many there actually are, whether they're 8 or 18 of them, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of this emotion. Just seeing the rough animatic sketch the previews are definitely impressive, and I'll definitely get into who wrapping this up with my final point. Hmm. While some are skeptical of the anthology format, including a couple of my associates who actually live in the UK, think that only a quarter of the series would take place there. But again, I think that might be a bit of a understatement, a bit of a small assessment, if you will, given how it's far more likely that it's not just going to be one or two stories set there. That on top of what they already doing with the material given to them beforehand, it's truly going to be a whole new world to imagine, and potentially with 100,000 things to see. And I'm really hoping that whatever the writers and animators have in mind next, that they can show us this world shining, shimmering, gleaming. And if you'll pardon the often and used vernacular to describe such a prospect, so whatever here the series takes us, like a shooting star near a far, I would love it if you would let me share this whole new world with you. There we go again. Well, that's definitely been interesting Pokemon Monday. You could definitely count this like a test run for some of the bigger videos I've got planned, and as I continue to work on my XYZ reviews and completing the Pokedex in the games I have not yet, so I will definitely talk to you all again soon.